In 1859, the Overtun farm was acquired by Scottish industrialist James White, who had just started in the business of chemical manufacturing. 3 years later, in 1862, James White built the Overtun house. When James died in 1884, John Campbell White, his son, inherited the house and its estate and started planning to extend the driveway of the house across a deep ravine to provide easier access. John hired Henry Miner, a landscape architect and civil engineer, to design the bridge. In June 1895, the bridge, which was constructed from rough-faced ashlar, was completed. The bridge comprises that span a steep-sided ravine. A large central arch spans the Overtun burn, with two lower and smaller arches flanking both sides. A large central arch spans the overturned bridge, with two lower and smaller arches flanking both sides. Since the 1950s, locals had referred to the bridge as the Bridge of Death, or Dog Suicide Bridge, as it was reported that dogs are leaping from the bridge into the ravine below. Some dogs survive the fall, but suffer terrible injuries. Others sadly perish soon after their plunges. In at least one instance, a dog allegedly jumped from the bridge, survived, ran up the slip, and then jumped off once again. Research has found at least 300 dogs have been recorded jumping from the bridge, with at least 50 dogs dying from the fall. During the 2000s and early 2010s, the phenomenon became more well known when incidents began being reported online and in the media. In 2004, for example, Kenneth Mickel was walking with his family and golden retriever when the dog suddenly bolted and jumped over the bridge. It somehow survived, but was traumatized by the experience. In 2005, at least 5 other dogs also jumped from the bridge in a course of 6 months. In 2014, Alice Trevorrow, who was walking with her dog Cassie, a Springer Spaniel, reported a strange experience on the bridge. Quote, I had parked up, and as she is so obedient, I didn't put her lead on. Me and my son walked towards Cassie, who was staring at something above the bridge. She definitely saw something that made her jump. There is something sinister going on. It was out of character for her. End quote. In 2019, the owners of Overtun House, who had lived there for 17 years, said they had witnessed many agitated dogs jump from the bridge. They believe that the scent of mink, pine martens, and other animals lure the dogs to leap over the bridge wall. Quote, the dogs catch the scent of the mink, pine martens, or other mammal, and then they will jump on the wall of the bridge, and because it's tampered, they will just topple over, end quote. But an owner, who was originally a pastor from Texas, also believed that the grounds that the bridge is built on possessed some sort of spiritual quality. This belief is echoed by some local people who believe dogs are behaving oddly on the bridge because animals are sensitive to the paranormal. Several rational theories have been proposed as to what is affecting the behavior of the dogs. In 2014, canine psychologist David Sands proposed that the surrounding foliage, giving the in-reality extreme steep drop off the side of the bridge the appearance of even ground, combined with the residual odor from male mink urine in the area, could be the culprit for luring dogs to jump. Sands noted perhaps the dogs can smell or see wild creatures scurrying below the bridge, and maybe the bridge's construction, which has tampered edges, might make it look like a safe, flat plane from a dog's point of view, also contributes to the confusion. In Sands' documentary about the bridge mystery, he says, quote, I think it's highly likely in all the cases here at Overtun Bridge that it is curiosity that killed the dog, end quote. But John Joyce, a local hunter and resident of 50 years, rejected this theory, stating that there were, quote, no mink in the area, end quote. Also, a local behaviorist named Stan Rollinson drew another possible cause behind the strange suicide bridge incidents. He said that the dogs are colorblind and perceptual problems relating to this may cause them to accidentally run off the bridge. In a separate investigation by the Royal Society for the protection of birds. It was found that the side of the bridge reportedly favored by leaping dogs did contain evidence of, quote, nests of mice, squirrels, and minks, end quote. In a separate experience, 7 out of 10 dogs exposed to canisters filled with the scent of mouse, squirrel, and mink, quote, all went straight for the mink scent, many of them quite dramatically, end quote. The Scottish Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals has also investigated the bridge and surrounding areas, but their findings proved inconclusive. One theory is that a grieving widow, the, quote, White Lady of Overtun, maintains a ghostly presence at the bridge, stirring the dogs into a death frenzy. Another, even darker tale harkens to a terrible event that occurred in 1994. It was that year that a 32-year-old father threw his own baby, whom he was certain was the Antichrist, into the gorge below. The baby died the following day, and the father was declared insane and committed to an institution. In October 1994, a paranoid schizophrenic father threw his 2-week-old son to his death from the bridge because he believed the son was an incarnation of the devil. He attempted suicide but was caught and placed in a mental health hospital. He said he chose the location due to its association with dark spirits and ancient druids. In October 2002, Hill's Films used Overtun House, the bridge, and the alleged paranormal activities as a base for the 2023 short film The Bridge, written and directed by Scott McLean. The film stars Christopher Wallace and Suzanne Simms. Locals say the dogs in almost every case tend to jump from the same spot that the baby was thrown from. They say the terrible ordeal left a supernatural rift of sorts that affects the dog's behavior.